Well, to no surprise, this offense still can't get their head out of their ass. But what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another post-game show here on Mets Central. And the Mets offense, once again, lays an absolute egg when it mattered the most and almost got no hit, it felt like, through this game. It felt like they were actually going to get no hit with how piss poor and how long it took them to even get in the hit column. Just disgusting baseball played yet again from this offense. It's August, and I tried to sit here in this chair earlier, excited to go to the game, thinking it's a new opportunity. You come back home with this crowd, packed house, new acquisitions. One of them that came into the game for you today and was freaking nails for you. And this offense, yet again, fails. It's like clockwork. Just, I don't understand how this team has spiraled so much from what we saw after they swept this same exact Giants team. But I'm just so tired of this team being so bipolar. It's so bipolar where they lose a game in heartbreaking fashion and it's off the rails with the train. They win. Oh, you know what? We're actually a better team than we thought, right? And then they find ways to win. It's baseball, right? That's what they'll say. But the one constant in all of that is that this offense, all season long, even in the 62 wins, all season long, I can maybe count on two hands, if I'm being generous, the wins that they've got this year because of the offense. And those are very few and far between. There was 2 games against the Yankees, I could say. For certain. There was a game against the Nationals that I could think of. I mean, outside of that, I'm struggling to think. Very disturbing that this team once again fails with runners in scoring position. Very disturbing that the manager isn't aware of his own new acquisition as well. Because I'm trying to understand why Cedric Mullins. I understood why he didn't start or why he wasn't in the starting lineup. Because he didn't get to the stadium until late. Okay. I thought you could have done a scratch and then put him in. But okay. I was willing to look by it. But then there was an opportunity. I mean, a couple of opportunities, to be honest with you. In the 5th inning, you get 2 guys on. Tyrone Taylor's still up to bat. And if you were that reluctant about putting in Cedric Mullins in that spot, I would have rather, not that Ronnie Mauricio had a good at-bat at the end of this game, but why is Mullins not in there when he has good reverse splits? And then in the 8th inning, once again, maybe you add an extra run, maybe you don't. I don't know what Cedric Mullins does in that at-bat in the 8th inning against Joey Lucchesi, but I'd rather find out than send Tyrone Taylor up there to look, once again, like an automatic out. I mean, this team just can't stop urinating all over themselves. And the Phillies won. That's great. But that's a moment where I question Mendoza because it's like you, me, and everyone did a 2-second Google research to figure out, oh, Cedric Mullins has good reverse splits. Oh, Cedric Mullins is actually good against Robbie Ray. Maybe we should get him in the game at some point while Robbie Ray's still pitching, no? and that didn't happen. And then the other questionable decision, and again, doesn't matter because of this offense. I want to make that abundantly clear. But why is Ryan Stanek the first guy out of the bullpen? To me, that made no sense at all. And you know what? Maybe you win the game, actually. Maybe you win and squeak it out by a final score 3-2. We'd still be mad about the offense, but at least you get a win. Why is Stanek the first guy up after you had an off day and you got all these new arms in your bullpen? Oh, if we use Rogers here, oh no, what are we gonna do with the 5 other good relievers that we have now tomorrow? Oh, what will we possibly do if we have to go to Brooks Raley tomorrow? Because oh no, we used Tyler Rogers yesterday. I'll be so pissed off if we got to go to Brooks Raley tomorrow. It's not like he's been nails. I don't understand why Stanek was in the game, first guy out of the pen. And again, would it made a difference? I don't know, because it took them until the 5th inning to get their first hit from Mark Vientos. They got a home run from Alonso, once again, without runners in scoring position. And I don't want to sit here and complain about a home run, but where is this with guys on base at the same time? Where is that? And then in the 8th inning, again, Mullins, would he have done anything? I don't know, but you get a walk from Nimmo. Lindor gets a single. Soto gets a single to make it 3-2. You get the sac fly from Pete to tie the game up at 3. He steals second. Mauricio ends up Soto steals second to this. Mauricio then gets that walk. And Beatty hits into a force out, but Diaz, I knew when Dom Smith came to the plate. I just we all knew. We all knew he was doing something there. And sure enough, he did. And I'm not gonna blame Diaz entirely. I mean, I would like him to not give up a hit to Dom Smith, but that pitch was also just completely out of zone. I don't know how he hit it. And then the 10th inning, they tease because, of course, you have the bases low with 2 outs, and Ronnie Mauricio going up there just looking for a walk. You just hit a home run off this guy a week ago. And you watch 2 pitches right down the middle. And then Soto and Nimmo not giving you productive outs at the very least to move the runners over. Not that, again, it would have mattered, the productive outs. But I don't want to hear, oh, but Randy Rodriguez is a good pitcher. He's one of the better closers in the game. You got to just tip your cap sometimes. Stick it up your ass. Respectfully stick it up your ass. These guys, and I'm going to reiterate the point that I've made every single month of the season now, and it has not changed. This offense is being paid to hit elite pitching because these guys are supposedly elite hitters. There are no excuses. Top of the order's got to get it done there. If they're not getting it done now, I mean, how do you expect them to do it in October? Oh, but maybe they'll be out of their slumps by then. I need to see it to believe it. Need to see that to believe it. Because Lindor, once again, not a good enough day. Pete Alonso, he had the home run at least. Drew a walk at least in the 10th. So sure, better. But I need to see more. And Juan Soto, man. Anytime runners are in scoring position, it's just a frustrating at bat from him. Just very frustrating. And again, I know he had the single in the in the 8th, but I need him to come through for me again there in the 10th, and he just didn't. Or better yet, crazy concept here that I'm gonna throw out there. Maybe, just maybe, don't let it get to the 10th inning. Maybe hit in any of the other innings that went on during the baseball game. But once again, this offense as well, they score in bunches, and that's been the weakness dating back to last year. Even last year, one of the things that I complained about the most is they'll have 1 or 2 innings where they score, and then the rest of the game it's zeros across the board. And it's fine when you're winning, but it's not a sustainable way to win, is what I'm getting at here. Which is very frustrating. And I'm right there with you, Matt. I'm very I'm questioning up here with these guys. Here we go again, where I have to do this with questioning a group of players if they have it mentally. And the manager too. I mean, I don't understand what goes through his head sometimes. I really don't. I mean, it's again a 2-second Google research to figure out Cedric Mullins has good reverse splits. Just because he's batting left-handed does not mean that he's only good against righties. Problem is the offense. Sure, you could sit here and say this, Will, but like I said earlier, what like should we really be relying on depth offensive players to come here and carry the load? Even if they went out and got Brandon Lau or whoever else, which I don't know who you wanted, but even if they got additional help offensively, is that going to matter when the top guys aren't performing? I can tell you right now, nope. It's not going to matter one bit. The top guys have to perform like the top guys. The pitching the first 2 months was insane and hid the problems, but once the pitching came back to earth, the hitting was really brought to the front how bad it is. It's it's the truth. It's absolutely the truth. And we were saying it here on our show, comments, Matt, myself, we were all saying it while they were winning games with the pitching. It's great that you're winning games this way. This offense has to show up though. And we were saying, oh, it's such a positive because this offense hasn't even got going at their full rate and they're still winning games. We were saying that until May. And then it's like, okay, are these guys going to step up? And then we're saying it for another month. Okay, are they going to step up? And then we're saying it for another month. And then we're saying it for another. And now we're here in August. When is it going to change? When the hell will it change? At this point, wake me up when it does. I can't even disagree with your first point here that Lindor has been bad for 2 months now. I can't even disagree. And it's going beyond a slump at this rate. I mean, this too. Again, like, this is another drum that has been banged multiple times from this YouTube channel here. It's been said just ad nauseum. It's not one guy, it's not two guys, it's not three guys. It's 1 through 9. It is a disease. When does that fall on the hitting coach? And that was the only reason when they were losing games to Atlanta and losing games to Tampa Bay, and they were in that lull that they were in June. That's the only reason I didn't give a fuck if they kept losing games. Because maybe there would have been a chance that Chavez went and Barnes went at that point. Maybe it would have woke Stearns up to make the change earlier. But they won those 2 games against the Braves, and oh, we're back. Yeah, let's negate our 7-game winning streak by losing 7 in a row now. Again, my only counter to this, William, is one, the top guys would have to show up regardless if this team wants a chance of going anywhere. And number two, who could Stearns have got? The only guy that I could sit here and say maybe he should have went after is Eugenio Suarez. Considering I thought the return was light there. Outside of that, I mean, who was available that could have been had at a lower price? And maybe they didn't want to move Suarez in the NL. I have no clue. Because the Diamondbacks might have felt, okay, we still might sneak our way into the playoffs, so I I get what you're saying, but if Brandon Lau was moved, if Yandy Diaz was moved, Steven Kwan, and the returns weren't that significant, I would sit here and agree with that. But to me, there's no one that got moved yesterday offensively where I could sit here and say, yeah, Stearns really missed out. And again, even if he got the help, the top guys aren't performing when they need to. Marginal improvement is not going to be the difference maker at this rate. And this is why I'm not blaming David Stearns for not getting the offensive help that everyone's saying they want. It's because these guys need to be held accountable. Because in October, these are the guys that have to perform if you want a championship. And I'm questioning it too, Carol. And I'm not questioning the talent. I'm questioning up here with these guys. Because they're all putting up individual numbers that are solid. But why is it there's long stretches of these guys not performing and runners in scoring position's been a problem all year long? Very frustrating. Because David Peterson went out there. I'm not sure what switch you're talking about there. Um, like I was saying though, David Peterson, while he frustrated me at points tonight, still went out there and gave you 6 innings. Stanek again, I don't get why he was in the game, but Garcia gave you an inning. You stole an inning from him. Helsley just looked nails, but doesn't matter because this offense, once again, very disappointing. And yeah, this is the point, Luke. It's like I'm not gonna sit here and say it's the magic pill as you phrased it, and you have the same exact sentiment I do, where it's not necessarily going to fix all the problems overnight. And I could sit here and admit that to you, but it's easier to replace one guy than replacing a group of hitters. What do you have to lose? Either way, I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you everyone for tuning in and watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live. And I'll see you guys in the next one.